Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the brand new 2022 Netflix original film, Day Shift, starring Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, Carla Souza, a bunch of other people are in this. I didn't know Carla was in this, and we know and love her from ABC's Home Economics. She plays Marina, and she's just absolutely perfect. And so to watch her play a villain vampire leading, vampire alpha, it was just so cool because I didn't expect it, and she did a phenomenal job. Dave Franco is perfection. Jamie Foxx is incredible. So to have the two of them be paired up, never would have thought that would have ever been a thing, but it worked so well together. So Snoop Dogg is in this as well, and he plays an incredible action hero. Having a song of his at the end was so cool as well, and surviving, leading potentially to a sequel. Who knows? I didn't have high expectations for this film. I knew it was going to be a horror comedy film, but this was awesome. It felt like a comic book come to life. It felt like a video game come to life. So Jamie Foxx is a vampire hunter, and he was kicked out of this vampire hunter union. So he's hunting vampires, and he's selling the fangs on the black market, basically, to get money to, do things. And he needs X amount of money by Monday to make sure that the house is paid off. So that, his daughter's tuition is paid off. That way she could stay in the fancy elementary school she's in. Otherwise, the wife and the ex-wife and daughter are going to be moving to Florida. So there's a timeline. And so Dave Franco plays this accountant at this vampire hunting union that Snoop Dogg is a big, member of, and convinces the president, if you will, the CEO, to allow the ex-union member, Jamie Foxx's character, to go back into the union to make some quick cash because he gets more money in the union versus the black market selling vampire fangs. So Dave Franco's character is paired with Jamie Foxx's character to make sure he's breaking union codes, that way he could just be kicked off the union again, and B, he needs field experience in order to be an actual rep to be promoted, something of that nature. So it's kind of mutual beneficial for the two of them to get together. There's a whole bowling alley vampire hunting scene, pretty awesome. Turns out Jamie's character's neighbor is in the apartment complex he's in is a vampire, sold out his family, but then they reconciled, and then Seth, Dave's character, gets turned into a vampire by Carla's character in retribution, because one of the first vampires that Jamie's character killed was the older daughter of I was going to say Marina, of Carla's character. So it was a whole retribution kind of story. It was a whole, not even a redemption, but it was a retribution. And what would Jamie's character do to save his family from being killed and B turned? Snoop Dogg being an absolute badass with a machine gun, knocking out different villains throughout the entire process, and the stunt work and the fighting scenes were just so cool. The abandoned mall fighting scenes were just so cool. The comedy of it, Dave's head coming off when he's turned into a vampire, but coming a good vampire in a hunting aspect, so cool. So it leads then into what happens next. If you're supposed to be hunting all these vampires, what happens when you have vampires on your side to hunt bad vampires? What happens? What are the new rules? So it's a new dawn, it's a new age. The whole fighting in the temple underneath them all was just so cool. It wasn't explained at all why it was a whole religious kind of aspect, ancient. I want to say Aztec, looked very Aztec-y, that temple. I think that's a good thing. Yeah, Aztec was more that particular area of Southern California thousands of years ago. Aztec, Maya, Inca. Aztec was more North America, Maya was more Central, and then Inca was more South America. Aztec, Maya, Inca. Aztec, Maya, Inca. That's just how I keep remembering it. Aztec, Maya, Inca. So it looked it looked like an Aztec temple that they were in, underneath them all, of all places. Very interesting. I want to know backstory. I want more. I want prequel movies. I want sequel movies. There's a whole world that we could be diving upon. So Day Shift was just so awesome. It was so well done. It was fun. It was fast. I wasn't bored. Blew my expectations, and it was a great horror comedy. What I also loved is that the only blood you saw was human blood, and anytime a vampire was killed, black blood would come flying everywhere. So it was gory, but it wasn't red blood gory. It was black blood gory, which is really neat compared to what was what was that film? Quentin Tarantino's film from back in the day. Dawn something? Something Dawn? All the vampires had green blood, so he could make it as bloody as he wanted, because if it was red blood, then it would be like an NC-17 kind of rating, but since it was green blood, it was only rated R. From Dusk Till Dawn, I think that's the movie. I think that's what I'm thinking of. From Dusk Till Dawn, Selma Hayek plays a vampire. She yeah, I think that's what it is. From Dusk Till Dawn, where all the blood is green. That's what it reminded me of, except all the blood was black in this for the vampires. So cool, loved it. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.